Look at him. Look at him. Now, Mama Rose. The Rock has got a special gift. Look at this. Here's your belt. The Rock is a man of his word. He said he's going to put your son's blood on this belt. And at WrestleMania, your son's blood and your tears. Yeah. Look at this. Get in here close, cameraman. Get in here close. Look at that. Look at this. Mama Rose. There's your blood. There's your blood. Look at that. There it is. There it is. Cheers at the end of the day. Mama Rose, I want you to look at your boy. Look at your boy, Mama Rose. Look at your boy. Look at the blood.
Hey guys, you are listening to this free bonus edition of the Dirty Sheets podcast. I teased this over on the latest episode of the Wrestling Informer, where I talked about 2 potential WrestleMania cards. I talked about some spoilers for this week's Raw and the Elimination Chamber. And I spent a lot of time talking about poor ticket sales for the Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania. Now, WrestleMania started like a house on fire, and you probably would have seen stories saying that WrestleMania is 90% sold out already. That is not true. It is true if you want to present a version of the truth. And I'm going to just do that news bit here on this free show. I'm joined by my son, Austin.
Hey, guys.
So the news bit that I talked about was the fact that the 90% number is not true. It's, in fact, a twisted reality. The WWE are setting up for 3 potential configurations. Once you hit configuration number 1, you then release more tickets for configuration number 2. Once you successfully navigate past the number for configuration number 2, you release tickets for configuration number 3, which is the absolute maximum capacity. That for this building is 71,250. That would include setting up your stage and losing a number of seats there. But obviously an NFL game doesn't have floor seats. So WWE would be selling as many floor seats as possible and would be able to eclipse the number that they have for football games. Also, they would be releasing tickets for a number of sections that are not currently selling, taped off sections right at the top of the stadium, including in the corners and including above the stage as well. So at the moment, it is set up to the absolute minimum, and they smashed that minimum. They smashed that minimum with combo sales, based on a lot of people, I believe, thinking The Rock was going to be there. And they also then did single day sales, again, based on a lot of people thinking The Rock was going to be there. Once reality set in and we got a real flavour of The Rock not being there, and we saw Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble, since the Royal Rumble, they've actually sold less than 500 tickets. Which is why it's probably no surprise that The Rock has suddenly come back on the scene. I believe tonight he will be mainly there to announce the fact that WrestleMania 42 will be in New Orleans, and the show tonight is the SmackDown is in New Orleans. But I also believe he will hint at something to do with WrestleMania, and possibly even a reveal that he's going to go against Cody Rhodes. How that's going to leave the Elimination Chamber setup, I have no idea, because these 6 guys are only fighting to face Cody Rhodes because Jey has categorically chosen Gunther. I'm going to speculate on those options with my son Austin in a moment. But I want to touch on how underwhelming it has been since the Royal Rumble. In fact, I want to touch on how underwhelming it's been overall since they've been on Netflix. Now, me and Austin, we were buzzed about them moving to Netflix. We spoke about, with Austin and Cav, about doing more shows, about reviewing these Raws every single week. Not necessarily SmackDowns, but we had big expectations for the Raws. The Raws have been pretty much back to the usual Raws, and the numbers have gone down as well. Now, people are looking at these numbers and saying, well, they're better than the numbers they did on the USA Network. This is an overall number that they're presenting. This is a worldwide number that you're seeing. it's a number that takes into account the viewers they used to have on TNT Sports or BT Sports in the UK are now watching via Netflix. And a number of other countries are watching via Netflix as well. This number that you're getting for viewership is not a US number. You're not getting a US specific number for what they're doing on Netflix. So it's a little bit skewed, and overall, I'm not someone who's bothered about what the ratings are, because ultimately this is going in a downward direction because they're not holding in viewers. People are not hooked by the shows. There's a reason why we're not talking about it. And Austin, you can sort of double down on this and kind of add your reasoning for why you're not saying to me, let's talk about this show, let's talk about that show. How have you found the show since Netflix?
It's just been bang average, to be honest. I mean, there's obviously some good moments. There were some good moments before when it wasn't on Netflix. It's just been pretty much the same.
And you spoke about your disappointment about the Rumble. What about since the Rumble? What about your buzz for WrestleMania? Just talk about where you were at just before. Try to forget about this Rock thing. Because I know we want to talk about something that you said in terms of I'll decide if I want to go tonight. But what's got you to the point where you're like, I don't think I'm going to go?
Just like the Raws have just been average. The John Cena's meant to be here all the time.
Yeah.
But he's on a retirement tour. Yet he's not been on a single Raw other than Raw on Netflix. He's done one Royal Rumble. Yeah, he's going to film a. What's he going to? He's going to film something
in Budapest. Yeah.
So he's been missing. Roman Reigns has not been around.
Yeah.
So the Raw's just been pretty average, to be honest.
So you think it's a misleading WrestleMania season?
Yeah, I don't think so. Bad Royal Rumble winner. John Cena face versus face main event doesn't really make much sense.
Do you think they miscalculate with the Royal Rumble winner in terms of? I feel that they don't understand because they're in the buildings. Obviously, the people that write the shows are in the buildings. Triple H is in charge. He's in the building. He's producing every show. And do you think that they've misjudged how that crowd reaction actually doesn't make for good TV? Because we get 12 minutes of entrance with the encore, and I find it boring. And do you think they've misjudged that completely? The difference between in arena and at home?
Yeah, definitely. Because in the arena, people are excited to be Jey Uso because they want to be eating and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But when you really let it sink in, no one really wanted Jey Uso to win the Royal Rumble, and no one wanted to be in the main event of WrestleMania because there's no point. I mean, he's good for he could have won that. Why would they put it on Saturday Night's main event? It was the Saturday Night's main event that was the worst Saturday Night's main event, the one that was kind of crammed in, and they put that as the main event, Saturday Night's main event. And now it's going to be the main event of Night 1 WrestleMania. It doesn't make any sense. It
doesn't make any sense because I strongly feel that they didn't book that match and book him to lose with the idea in mind that they were going to do it again at WrestleMania, because I just don't think you give that match away if they were going to do that.
Yeah.
So ultimately, to add a little bit of background to it, we had a conversation because if you're wondering, well, why would this kid pass up a free WrestleMania? It's because we talked about an alternative and looking at these prices. So for me, it's not really a massive concern to go to WrestleMania. I can go to WrestleMania and I can go to other holidays and whatnot, but there's only a certain amount of there is a certain amount of money I earn per year, and there's a certain amount of that I want to put towards holidays. Yeah, I could go on more holidays, but it would mean cutting back on other things. It would mean not saving things for other things I want to do. I want to do things to my apartment. I want to invest in other properties. I want to get more into the stock market and crypto and all of these things. I want to save a lot of money this year and try to increase and invest in things. I basically want to increase my investments and my assets, and I want to find a way to make more money out of my money. That was my goal this year. My goal was not to spend all of the money that I earn, which I've been very irresponsible with for the last few years, albeit have managed to pay off my mortgage, have managed to get the car I've always wanted to drive. So I did manage to get those things, but those things were achieved a few years ago. So whilst I didn't set any financial goals in 23-24, what I did instead was just blew it all on holiday after holiday after holiday after holiday. So I wasn't going to do that this year. So what I said to Austin is by not going to WrestleMania, that if you look at the cost of WrestleMania and don't attend WrestleMania, you could replace that with, how did we say, 4 pay-per-views? No, 3 pay-per-views and 3 football matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 5 pay-per-views, was it? Or 4?
No, I think it was 3. I think it's 3 pay-per-views and 3 football matches.
3 football matches in a different country.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, we worked it out, and the difference is if we didn't go to WrestleMania, that we could go to 3 non-WrestleMania pay-per-views, so Rumble, SummerSlam, Money in the Bank outside of the UK. And then we could go to 3 international soccer trips, so Real Madrid, Inter Milan, AC Milan, Bayern Munich, should we say, for example. So we could watch 3 of the best teams in Europe in their home stadium. So take 3 European trips and take 3 US trips to non-WrestleMania pay-per-views. That was how we kind of worked it out, obviously factoring the fact that Vegas is specifically expensive as well. So when just having this conversation, Austin kind of landed on, that's what I'd rather do. That's what I'd rather do if WrestleMania continues to go down this path. And WrestleMania going down this path was a triple threat main event that I talk about over on the Wrestling Informer, and 2 title matches which we don't find to be particularly interesting. So that's where we've been at. Underwhelmed by Netflix, underwhelmed by the potential card, underwhelmed by the costs. Obviously, Austin is not 21, and I've been to Vegas multiple times without him, so I know what Vegas can be, but I don't necessarily need to have that type of Vegas holiday already. I've had that Vegas holiday on 7 occasions, even unfortunately got married there once in Vegas as well, the first time I went there. So that's 7 trips to Vegas where I know exactly what it's all about. So obviously going with my son is very different, but also it's limiting for him. He's not at an age where he can maximise it, although we can have a very different kind of trip. There's a lot of shows that we can watch. I told you about Cirque du Soleil, Carrot Top, all these things that you can do, right? Yeah, the roller coaster ride across Vegas, yeah. So there are things that we're looking forward to doing to make a week of this. Obviously, then you have all of your wrestling stuff chucked in that we're not particularly interested in because we've done it many times. He hates WrestleCon. What do you hate about it?
The people that are there.
Yeah, you hate the marks, don't you?
Yeah. And the wrestlers keep constantly rescheduling and cancelling now, so it's not as good as it was.
No.
And I hate the wrestling nerds. They're just weirdos. And
I don't really like seeing the wrestlers like that on their little tables either.
Yeah.
I always struggle with, when you go up to them and then they got that picture, like they sign their peak pictures, don't they? And then they're there like these old, bold, titty guys with their titties and their bellies and their limps.
I think WWE World's a lot better than WrestleCon.
Yeah, but WWE World is supposed to be, but it's also, again, you don't need to go more than once. It's just a whole load of exhibits. I mean, the one in Saudi is better, isn't it, than WWE World?
The one in Saudi, what was it? WWE Universe.
That is WWE World, isn't it? No, what's it called?
It's called WWE Universe.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
What, the one in Saudi that we went to?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I don't think it is.
Hold on, let me look.
Have a look while I continue to talk. So, anyway, the game-changing situation while Austin tries to look up one of the few TikTok videos he posted. You can follow him, by the way, at Dirty Sheets Wrestling. The second episode of my figure review is
WWE Experience.
WWE Experience, there you go. That's what we visited in Saudi, and that's better than WWE World, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. So you can see you need to repost WWE Experience on your new TikTok channel at Dirty Sheets Wrestling ASAP. So make sure you check out Dirty Sheets Wrestling. He's doing a new series. The second episode of my figure review is out, looking at meeting John Cena. Austin really enjoys doing these videos and he loves watching them back, don't you?
Yeah, really do.
He's being sarcastic. He hates watching himself on video. Do you listen to the podcast that you're on?
Not really.
No.
Never really have.
No. So let's talk about how the situation could improve. So you're on the fence. You have this alternative of taking six trips instead of WrestleMania. So obviously our plan was to go to WrestleMania and SummerSlam anyway.
Yeah.
So it's really 5 trips, isn't it? So would you rather go to SummerSlam and WrestleMania, or would you rather go to SummerSlam and 3 football matches and 2 other pay-per-views instead? That's the real choice, right? Because SummerSlam's locked in, yeah?
2 other pay-per-views from now?
Yeah, 2 other pay-per-views this year.
What do you think that would be? One in Saudi and then John Cena's last one?
I don't count Saudi. John Cena's last one in December, yeah. And possibly Survivor Series, or... I don't like War Games, though, so I'm not really a fan. So I'd rather be looking at the Money in the Bank. Yeah, Money in the Bank.
Or King, Queen of the Rings, not a bad shout, depending where it is.
It was in Saudi.
Oh, is that a guaranteed thing?
I think so. I think Crown Jewel and King and Queen of the Rings locked in.
Depends how good a pay-per-view look, because I wouldn't have minded Bad Blood last year, because that was very good.
So it's a wait and see situation.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So SummerSlam and WrestleMania, or SummerSlam and 2 other pay-per-views and 3 football matches of 3 European teams you choose: PSG, Bayern, Inter, Juve, Real Madrid, Barcelona. 3 of those. Okay, so or Man United in the Europa League final, maybe.
Like they're even get close to that.
Yeah, I know.
They'll be out in the round of 16.
So, okay, so what makes you say WrestleMania instead of those trips? What has to happen today? Like, let's get to the whole point of this show.
Well, if The Rock gets down to Cody and he's like calls him out, then that's the sign you want to see.
That's it.
If he says something like, "Oh, I'll see you next year," or something like that, or "I'm still coming for you, but not this year," then that's bad, and I wouldn't want to go.
Okay, let's say that they're trying to do Rock Cody, but you got an elimination chamber coming up. So what do you do? Like, you're in the writing team today. You're sitting there with Triple H, who's sitting there knowing he's fucked this whole WrestleMania up, and they had to call The Rock back in. So how are you helping Triple H right now?
You try and put the other person in a triple threat with either of the 2 champions, or
what?
Yeah, you make the elimination chamber the person that will get added to Gunther J.
That's terrible.
What else are they supposed to do?
Triple H will say, "Get out, go and get me a coffee, you stupid little idiot."
Okay. What else are you supposed to do?
I think The Rock is the boss, and he can add Cody Rhodes to the chamber and make it a title defense and say that he's in the main event at WrestleMania. Or The Rock can tell Cody that he's not done with him, and or The Rock can just say nothing. He can just attack Cody Rhodes, and then once John Cena wins, you just hear his music, and he's the 7th guy in the chamber.
Set how they can do 7th guy, or maybe like one person maybe you could attack someone backstage who can go into it.
Yeah, who would you attack? Probably just Priest.
Priest, yeah.
Priest sucks, man.
He's so bad.
He's not bad. What's up with him? Like, why is he not? Why doesn't it work? I
don't know. He was literally a 5-month champion. I don't know.
But that didn't work either. It's a bit flat with Priest, isn't it? It's just something's missing there. He looks good, but I don't know. He's just something's not right with his. And the thing is, like, Cav likes him. Like, Cav always says about how he's got such a great voice, and yeah, there's just something not clicking with Priest. And even as a bad guy, I don't think it really worked either. He wasn't a good bad guy, and he's not a good guy. So he's a weird one. But yeah, so you think there's loads of. So you think the options are Priest gets attacked tonight, number 1.
Yeah.
Or not number 1. Sorry.
No, not tonight. Before the elimination chamber, and Rock enters in.
So there could be some way you don't know what Rock's doing tonight. He could just say that Cody Rhodes, this isn't done.
Yeah.
So what do you think about? So what if you have? So let's book this, right? So here's the booking. Here we go. Here's a good idea for Triple H. Triple H, you listening? I'm going to cover for this kid. He's back with a coffee. So The Rock says, Cody, I ain't done with you. And then basically rock bottoms him or whatever. Or he gives him that talk again and says that, shakes his hand or whatever and turns on him, whatever. Whatever they do tonight. Announce New Orleans, rock bottom, boom, that's it. So you get to the Elimination Chamber and CM Punk gets rid of Seth Rollins, right? Mm. Then Seth Rollins interferes and CM Punk's eliminated by Logan Paul. Logan Paul and John Cena are the last two men and John Cena wins. Then The Rock's music hits and as The Rock's coming into the cage, Logan hits a low blow on Cena and The Rock immediately rock bottoms him. But let's have Cena kick out of one because he's Super Cena. Kicks out, hits another one, kicks out, people's elbow, 3 count in the chamber. The Rock's in.
Yeah.
So then you've set up Seth and Punk with Roman getting added to it. You've set up Logan and Cena, and you've set up Rock versus Cody. Obviously, earlier on in the match, Damian Priest goes out after about 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just
he's the worst one in there.
Just gets put out by Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what, Drew...
Oh, I can't believe they're doing Drew Damian shit.
I don't know if you can Drew LA Knight, they might change it. So, what about that? Or you got a better way of doing it?
I think they just take out Damian Priest before the match. I prefer that.
Would you prefer Priest just to be mysteriously knocked out?
Yeah.
And The Rock's in a chamber?
I prefer them to show it before the match starts.
And The Rock comes out number 6. Also, what if Drew takes Priest out of the chamber?
Yeah, that would be fine as well.
And they could just show it.
Yeah, that'd be fine as well. Yeah, that would work.
So Drew takes out Priest and then Rock's in the chamber at number 6?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's easy to do. I just don't think The Rock will go to I don't think The Rock will go to Canada, though, for this pay-per-view. That's the other thing. I mean, if you're doing this, he has to start turning up for work, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he has to work. He has to turn up to work. He has to turn up to... it's just very odd to also build it up on Smack. This could be something to do with... we know Netflix is moving down, but I think SmackDown is drastically moving down as well. I don't think SmackDown's been doing particularly well.
No, it hasn't.
And I don't think... in ratings-wise and to watch as well. Like, how do you find... So, I think SmackDown feels like Raw... it's actually a longer version of Raw because Netflix is about 2.5 hours runtime. SmackDown's 3 hours with the ads. And then you have less star power on the show. Like, what are you looking forward to when you watch an episode of SmackDown? Apart from, what, Jacob,
Cody, that's about it. I don't even watch SmackDown. I watch the YouTube highlights.
Really?
Wasting my time. Yep. Unless I'm awake on a Friday.
And Tiffany's on there?
I can't be bothered to watch. It's a waste of 3 hours.
Are you interested in Tiffany Charlotte at all? Why are you ripping my magazine?
I'm not.
You've just ripped that. I haven't even read that yet.
Nothing on it.
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm not. Actually, yeah, I am interested in it. I was predicting that a few months ago that it would happen. But I guess everyone knew that would happen. Yeah, it will be a good match. I hope they can have a good build to it.
And what if Charlotte wins?
I don't want Charlotte to win.
I
really hope Charlotte loses.
If Charlotte wins and loses and wins the belt back and then loses the belt, all between now and the end of the year, what do you think of this idea that her and Cena are both on 16 and then they're racing to get Flair's number?
Well, that would be good, yeah.
She could win it at WrestleMania. She could lose a rematch to Tiffy, or somebody could cash in on Charlotte and Charlotte could win it back, or Charlotte could just lose a rematch to Tiffy Charlotte could lose a rematch to Tiffy. She could win the third match. Then she's on 16. And that's it. She's chasing then. She could be Miss Money in the Bank and be chasing 17. What if Cena and Charlotte both have Money in the Banks and they're both on 16?
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah, well, imagine Charlotte and Cena are costing each other cash-ins, like a weird woman and man crossover. What if Cena's about to cash in and Ric Flair costs him the cash in?
No, that's not gonna happen, is it?
Like, why not?
Why would Ric Flair go back to WWE?
He's not at work. He's not at AEW anymore. Do you know what? I just made the most amazing story ever. Like, Cena's about to do it, but he wants his daughter to do it first, so he stops John. And then Charlotte's about to cash in later on in the show, and
John Cena comes out on AA's.
he can't AA her though, can he?
Why? That's not allowed anymore.
Maybe Nikki Bella can do it for him. I don't know, but they're not on good terms, are they?
No, they aren't.
Maybe has Cena got a wife? Has Cena's wife wrestle?
Cena even got a wife anymore.
Yeah, he's got that wife that we saw him with. She's Italian or something, no?
Yeah, no, probably can't wrestle.
But they were getting in that car, that black
Yeah, I
BMW.
remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
All right, you done? Anything else you want to add?
Nope, I just hope the Rock thing is good tonight.
Will you come back on to talk about it? Because I know how...
Yeah, I will. I will if it's good. If it's just him announcing New Orleans, then I won't.
It can't be that, because the tweet says what?
The final boss returns tonight on SmackDown.
Yeah, to do what?
Just says that.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it
I
doesn't.
saw it like 30 seconds ago.
Austin, I'm going to read the tweet now. It doesn't say what you just said.
Oh, the tweet?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It says strap it. Triple H said strap in. Expect the unexpected.
No, that's Triple H. It's not The Rock. He says the final boss is coming to handle business, deliver a beautiful gift to the city of New Orleans. That's the Mania, right? Mm-hmm. And fuck up a certain someone's life with the final boss gospel.
Wow, I've not even seen that.
What's the point of doing a show then?
I only saw... oh my god.
Oh my god.
We're hating him in that show.
Wow. This is live now. This is live. This kid reading the second line of the tweet. What did you read?
I read something about Triple H and I just read the Instagram story he posted.
Right, what about... let's... another 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, that's great. I actually think something will happen now. And if it doesn't, then he's just lying to us again. He's just a big disappointer.
What if the gospel is just to go there and tell the bloodline guys to stop fighting with each other because they're family?
No, that would suck as well. That would suck as well.
Yeah. Well, they say expect the unexpected. So what I'm going to do is just park my expectations, because this guy has let us down multiple times. He came out as a super good guy on Netflix. He's obviously going to announce WrestleMania. We know that. He lied to you at the movie premiere where he told you that he was going to see you at
Maybe he
WrestleMania.
didn't know by that point. Maybe he didn't know, but, you know.
Maybe he just decided that he wasn't going to do WrestleMania because losers like us go to it, and he realised this fucking idiot and his kid.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
This stinky kid and his dad. What do you think? That was the turning point. Because you were stalking his mum. He saw a picture of you and his mum. He thought, I have to protect my mum from these kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? All right, guys. So just thought we'd touch base with that. And obviously, yeah, it's just all pure speculation. Other than, obviously, the facts as a Wrestling Informer story with the three configuration story for WrestleMania ticket sales. You can still not follow me on Twitter. I need a Twitter account. I need an X account. I will be coming back. I need to get that done this week for WrestleMania season. Otherwise, you have Austin on the TikTok and the Instagram at Austin's Toys and Games, and at Dirty Sheets Wrestling on TikTok. Also, be sure to check out the YouTube channel, the Dirty Sheets YouTube channel. You can also see my figure review on there as well. I may be popping up to do a WrestleMania video as well. I'm trying to increase my content. It was my intention to increase my content, but I cannot do anything about a lackluster product. Thanks for listening, guys.